Good evening, Mavs fans. I am Johnny Gibson.
And I am Ryan Faulkner. And welcome to the Half-Fast Sportscast.
It sounded very, very professional.
Very professional and very articulate.
Yeah, tonight, obviously, we're going to be talking Mavs.
Who?
Well, they're this team, local basketball team. They play for the NBA. They're going to be, they're doing fairly well, and we'll discuss it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great, Johnny. I'm so glad you casually mentioned that.
Thanks.
If you're watching live, go in the chat room so you can join in our shenanigans and jump in the chat hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys want to go ahead and click on that chat button off to the right, and you can get in on the show with us. I'm watching the chat room right here live. Producer
Right
Rich
now.
is also watching it, and, we'll include you in the show, maybe a little bit, if you're clever enough. Speaking of Rich, let's all welcome our producer over here at Master Control, Rich.
Howdy, folks. What's up?
There he is.
Whoa.
There he is. I don't know if you guys have noticed this yet, but a little something new this week. We have microphones. Very professional. I don't know if you could...
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Look at this.
Wow, thank you.
See how it gets...
Thank you.
It's not picking up as well, but once I turn it towards me,
And
it picks me up really well, actually.
That's kind of the basics of how a microphone works, for those of you who may not be familiar with that concept.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into more mic talk, or should we...
I want to talk about something that I've been doing before we get into what we're going to be talking about.
Oh, this sounds serious.
It's really not. It's something that I've been doing. Like it's
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know if you. What have you been doing in your private time? You want to share with us?
done?
I'm just waiting for you to finish your story.
Okay. So I like the English language. I think it's funny when people use bad language because I use it improperly on purpose because I think it's funny. So one thing I've been doing is like when it's inappropriate. Well, not when it's inappropriate because it's got to sound right. I don't think I've talked to you about this.
No, I don't think so.
But like I will use the word hard, like so hard,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the improper parts of it. Like where you use good. Like, for instance, and I've been doing it on purpose, because I used to do this when I was a kid. I used to put the first letters of two words. I used to switch them.
Oh, that's clever.
So, knucking futs.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to do that with my speech all the time. So
On
I guess this is
accident,
like,
or-
no, on purpose.
Okay.
But,
Chuck you, Farley.
yes.
Well,
So now I've been
cool it
using
down,
so
guys.
hard. Like,
So is that
I
supposed to be
want to eat some pie, like so hard.
Hosard? Is that where you're getting at? I don't understand.
No, like I want some Whataburger so hard.
Okay. I get that.
Like so bad, but it's like so hard,
yeah.
and it sounds really stupid. But I think it's funny.
Right.
Yeah. Or in instances where it would work, like I'm gonna run so hard, you have to substitute it with good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna run like so good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever watch Star Trek:
No.
The Next
No.
Generation?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay.
Oh, the Next Generation, yes.
Would you like to finish your story?
Yeah,
or-
shut the
Okay.
The kid Wesley on that, Will Wheaton. I
Right.
follow him on Twitter, and he's got this habit of every time he goes to a new place, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm here now," he says, like, "Canada, I am in you."
Oh.
What?
Love it.
Canada, I am in you.
I'm.
Put that in your cap.
That's good.
Okay.
We're all talking like NPR now.
That's good.
I'm
That's
in
fascinating.
you right now.
Is that their anthem?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Canada.
it is, actually.
Oh, Canada, I'm in you right now.
Yeah, that's actually it.
That's
I bet they followed up with an A.
Did not know that.
Oh.
I'm in you right now, A.
Don't be a hoser.
Pass me
How
a
about that?
Molson
Sports talk.
and let's eat maple syrup.
So I'm wearing a Mavs shirt.
Why are you doing that, man?
Kind of the retro Mavs look
the
here.
retro.
Well, I'm a Mavs fan, an MFFL.
What?
I don't know if you're
I'm
familiar
an
with that.
MFFL. I have the shirt to prove it.
Okay.
All right.
Mavs fans for life, for
Yeah.
those of you who are not familiar, which you should be.
You should be by
because you're
now.
watching this show, and That means you kind of like.
I think
stuff
I'm
we
an
like.
I'm an MFFTFT
You're an MF.
Mavs fan for the first time. So Mavs.
So Mavs.
I'm a fan.
All right. As you saw, we played that video in the open. That was actually, did you know, Johnny? That was from Game 5 of the Oklahoma City series, which was the closeout game. And I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but
No.
kind of was there, you know.
Oh, you were there.
I kind of was there.
So yeah, if I remember correctly,
Kind of a big
we
deal.
skipped a show that week. Actually, so you could go to that.
Sorry, homie.
But
You made the right choice.
yeah, obviously you made the right choice.
Let me give you a report. It was awesome. End of
Okay.
report.
And everybody out there, we made the right choice for you.
Correct.
It
You guys,
was-
listen. You guys wanted to watch the Mavs game anyway.
I had a buddy that
know?
was in Phoenix for the closeout game against the Suns in 2006,
Ah, good for you. That's
where Dirk. No, Dirk didn't score 50 in that game, or did he? I think he scored 50 in Game 2, but I think it might have been the closeout game where he dropped 50 on the Suns.
damn.
But yeah, to be at a closeout game, it was something special, and that was the game
Top three is that in
when
your
Dirk
top
hit
three
that
moments?
three.
Would you say?
Yeah,
Nice.
I would have to. I mean, the only thing that's going to top that is, you know, if the Mavs win the final.
Right.
But when Dirk hit, when they're down, like that video showed, one of the best things about that video is when Dirk takes that last shot, you see the ball go up, and in the background, you see the score and the time. With a minute left, they're down by 2, and he's shooting that 3.
So would you say, for you, World Cup victory, followed by Rangers World Series happenings, followed by that game? Is that your top three?
I don't know, because none of the Cowboys moments are in there.
Oh, God, the Cowboys.
I'd have to say, I mean, I was really young with the Cowboys at the Super Bowls, but doesn't mean I don't appreciate them.
Right.
But at that point, they were
But we can't
steamrolling.
really get credit for those because we didn't really.
Well, they were steamrolling, and
Yeah.
it's different. But I'll tell you what game I do remember the Cowboys is that Monday night game in Buffalo.
Oh, who can forget?
Shut up.
Um,
They came down from I'll have to show. There's a video on YouTube that shows the particulars, but it was one of the most unlikely. I mean, it was about as unlikely a comeback as you're ever going to find in the NFL. It might be comparable to their comeback. Probably, you know what? It's probably comparable to the comeback in Game 4 of the Oklahoma City series. It was that remarkable. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. It was a great sports moment. It was awesome. I was gifted a ticket. It was great, and with a bunch of Mavs fans, of course, and just I was actually, you know what? I sat next to Norm from the ticket.
really?
He was like 3 rows in front of me.
Nice. Nice. Did you say hi?
I did say hi real quick, and I didn't whip his ass. So just said hi.
Good.
That's it.
That's good.
But
I mean, that's, whenever I'm in public and people come up to me, that's kind of what I prefer, Come up, say hi, let me know you're a fan, but then, let's go our separate ways. Don't get creepy. Sometimes I get those creepy fans, that want to, hey, maybe we could hang out sometime, and you... Listen, I'm not looking for friendship in this, okay, people?
hey man, can you give me like $5?
Come on.
I'll give you an HJ.
Listen, I have things to do. I have a life. Let's keep things, at a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we missed a lot, actually. I think we only
We
done
missed like
one
a whole
show.
freaking series, I think.
No, we've been more than a series. Homie. I think we've only done one show since they've been in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a show after they swept the Lakers, and I guess that was it. We haven't done one since this series started. It was in between.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, try to there's so much that's happened. I mean, just try to backtrack.
Yeah, we can't really-
It's not really gonna.
Everyone already knows basically everything that's happened
Yeah.
back then.
So I guess we can just go ahead and skip towards the last night's game.
Okay.
What game was it, Johnny?
That would be game 4.
That's right. Good. At least you know what sport. was
NBA
it?
Finals.
NBA Finals. That's right.
Yeah.
Very pivotal game. Of course,
Pivotal.
the psychology of it. It's 2-1. If the Mavs lose, they're down 3-1.
Basically do or die.
Yeah, it is. It's do or die.
Nobody's
it's
ever
do or
been
die
down
without
3-1
the do or die
and won.
moniker on it. Because then
Right.
if you go down 3-1, that's not very favorable.
Nobody's ever won. Nobody's ever come back from a 3-1 deficit
And then if you win, you tie
in
it
the
up.
finals.
And then you're right into it. And yeah, as they say, it's the best of 3. But crucial game. And then you of course, you get excited. You get into it and you see Dirk Dirk actually scores the first 6 points of the game, and you think he's on.
Sick, mind you, people.
And then you don't find out till later, probably like halftime, that he's actually got a fever of about 102. I heard 103, but I don't know. I heard 101.
Yeah, I think it ranged from 101 to 103.
So he's got a fever of 103?
Is he hot-blooded? Hot-blooded?
That's what this is. It's a promotion.
Where are you guys going with this? Not following.
Oh. You weren't around in the 80s.
I'm just kidding.
It's foreigner, man.
I'm aware.
No, good for you.
Thank you.
That's a compliment.
That goes a little longer than I'd like it to be.
So Kyle in the chat room made a good point, or I don't know. He made
Kyle.
he made a good pitch.
We don't know that that's Kyle.
Get Hollywood on the phone. He wants to see Dirk playing Andre the Giant role in Princess Bride when they remake that movie.
Oh,
ooh,
okay. I'm down with that.
He'll have to do the rhyming.
I do not think that word.
Come on, guys! Have you not seen Princess Bride?
Yeah,
Johnny wasn't around in the 80s.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. A few times. I haven't memorized it per se.
I haven't either, Johnny. I just have that good of a memory.
Sound effects are garbage, by the way. Well, that was rude. That's let's see if
That's
I
some
can.
quality sound effects coming from Johnny's talk.
I got
box.
something for Kyle here. Okay, well, you're
It's a
officially
tiny door slamming.
kicked out
it's a
of
shotgun?
the.
No, it was
kicked out of the chat
noises.
room.
Ooh.
No, we don't put up with crap like that here. Okay, you want to support us? That's fine.
I think Johnny's getting.
We'd like to thank World Market.
Listen,
for
I'm up
their
on my high horse.
Bargain basement sound effect machine.
Yeah, that his son
Sponsoring the
picked
show
out for
tonight
him.
is World Market, whether they know it or not.
Yes,
Correct.
nice. So
The Dallas Mavericks
Jeez, man,
tied up the series.
God, it's been so long since we've done a show. What the hell are we
2-2,
doing?
2-2 series
Just call
tied
it
up
right
now.
now.
We got one more game
It's
in
done.
Dallas, followed up by 2 more in Miami. Dallas really needs to win this next one here at home. The Miami Heat have not been beaten back-to-back yet in this playoffs, so it's going to be a tough task. But you really need this home game because it's going to be very tough to go into Miami and win 2 back-to-back there. So let's get this next game.
Did you just quit?
And then we just got to go to Miami and win one. That's all we need. One more. Let's take the first lead in this series yet.
That'd be
That's,
fantastic.
I'm good if we did that.
It doesn't help the basketball is rigged argument for these games to be going back and forth like this.
Yeah,
That
Man,
seems
it's too obvious.
theatrical.
Too obvious.
I had what theatrical? What?
Are you not
I
familiar
posted
with that?
something on Facebook the other day.
That's right. Ryan
you see
Faulkner
that?
on Facebook. He's fishing for followers.
I don't care. Did you see what I put the other day?
Probably,
In
but
response to Dwayne Wade's giant flop to under the basket against Jason Kidd, Kid didn't even touch him, and
something about how that made you so hard. I think was that your wording?
I'm gonna kill
Wade.
you so hard
It was
right now.
Wade makes me hard,
I'm gonna kill
like
you
your new
so
your new
hard.
way of saying it. I remember.
Yeah. So, oh God, you're killing me, Smalls.
What's,
you're taking my ear out here, homie.
You gonna finish that story?
No.
Oh,
Ryan, by the way, is the only on-air personality in the world who actually says, "Don't follow me on. Stop following me.
Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. Stop following me
It's
on
great for
Facebook."
pub.
I'm Ryan Faulkner.
And Rich is always like, dude, what are you doing? We need as many people watching this piece of crap.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watch this
Yeah.
crap.
Yes, watch this crap. So no, I said something like
Wade's flop.
I want the Miami plane.
You want them to die.
Yes.
You want. Oh my gosh.
At least they wouldn't fake going down.
Yeah, I don't think you should say that.
I just did. And you know what? After I saw LeBron's phantom foul after Haywood's shadow,
you wish
almost
death upon
knocked
the
him
entire
out,
team.
I almost booked a flight for him myself on
You,
a very specific plane.
So let me get this straight. On a flop, you have decided that because they flopped and because they, encouraged a call that was incorrect, you wished that their entire team be killed.
No, you can spare the coaches.
Okay. All right.
Maybe any people under the age of 18.
Cheerleaders, support
Yes.
staff.
No, those can. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Ooh,
Oh
elitist.
my.
Yeah, I am very elitist.
Kind of awkward. What's over here? Did you see that video of at that film festival where that I forget who it was, the chick from Spider-Man. She's sitting there with her director, and he just all of a sudden starts talking about how he's a Nazi.
But anyway, I know I really wanted to be a Jew, and then I found out that I was really a Nazi, because my family was German, Hartmann, which also gave me some pleasure. So I'm kind of yeah.
Sir,
I what can I say? I understand Hitler.
And she's just like,
but
is this happening?
I think he did some wrong things. Yes, absolutely. But I can see him sitting in his bunker in the end.
It's like the most awkward moment
But
ever.
there will come a
anything.
point at the end of this. There will come. I will. No, I'm just saying that I understand. I think I understand the man. He's not what you would call a good guy, but I understand much about him, and I sympathize with him a little bit. Yes, but come on.
Quite awkward, and that's kind of how I feel sometimes when I'm with Ryan on air.
I should have left you dead, Billy.
I'd kind of like the Mavs to earn. I'd like if the Mavs earned their title. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and they're well on their way.
Yeah, they're definitely having to earn it.
They had to beat the Trailblazers, who people thought was going to be this year's upset team.
Yep, our first round out right
then
there.
You sweep the Lakers, and then you go and play
violently.
Not
Kevin
only
Durant,
defeat the
who's
second best
scoring
team
leader of
in the
NBA.
league, but also the first worst commentators in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Mark Jackson with his stupid "Mama, there go that man."
Let's go ahead.
Whips my ass to no end.
Gonna go ahead and mark that, Richard. Thank you.
You know, and I'm glad he got the Golden State coaching job, so at least he's not going to be doing that shit anymore.
Mm-hmm. So continue. They
Dude,
beat LA, and then
I'm so derailed. I don't even know
you
where I am right
talked
now.
about how they went on to face Kevin Durant, one of the top
scoring
scorers in the
leader.
NBA.
So
Yeah.
you look at who the Heat have to beat, dude. They have to beat the Pacers, the Bulls, and
Celtics, right?
Yeah, the Celtics.
Who are a very good team.
Celtics are good, but they're old, and
And
Rajon
honestly,
Rondo's arm was dislocated.
You know, the Bulls are a really good team too, so they did have to face some tough opponents. Granted, we had to face 3 very tough opponents, but
I think the West was a hell of a lot harder to beat than the East.
I agree. The West just has, I think they have tougher teams in general, but I don't know. I think the Heat did pay their dues. They did get here justly. I don't have any problems with that. I don't think there were any shortcuts or anything. I mean, they earned it just like we did, and they're playing damn good basketball. They're outplaying us. I mean, the games that we have won, we've been trailing the entire game, and we just managed to barely squeak back at the very end off of them doing a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of missed shots. And
they've been capitalizing on our turnovers. We've been giving them a lot of points.
Yeah.
They had 31 points off of turnovers in Game 3. That's an abnormality. And we don't turn the ball over that much, and we also don't miss as many shots. But what we are doing is we're getting clutch defense late in the fourth quarter.
Our defense has been fantastic.
It is
Whenever they
insane.
switched over to that zone defense.
And whenever we're getting those stops, just stop and think to yourself that we have to score when we get those stops. Because
Right.
those stops don't come that often.
And you know what? Half the time we're not. And the Heat, those 2 games where we did come back and win, the Heat just did that bad at the end that even with a couple of missed shots, we still managed to come back and win this thing. So, I don't know. You could say the same thing for the Heat. The games they've won, the Mavs have been awful in. But it's typically the Mavs did pretty bad most of the game. So, I don't know. It's hard to. It's a really good matchup. It's really good TV. I mean, this is reality TV at its finest right here. Sports, playoffs, that's reality TV. That's what it should be.
Well,
And
sports is the ultimate reality. I mean, Jerry Jones says that the sports is the greatest TV show, ever because you can't script it, you can't write it, you don't know what's
Right.
going to happen from week to week. And he's right.
Yep.
You can't script sports, and it's what we as sports fans like. It's what we crave for. It's like it's chasing the dragon, so to speak. It's you get that first experience, and you want to keep having it over and over again. You watch every game trying to see if you can recreate that. If you're going to see something great, and if you've been watching this postseason run for the Mavericks, you've seen nothing but. I mean, you're running out of superlatives for this team. You really are. I mean, it's almost exhausting about how much praise you were giving this
Making
team.
them the most difficult to describe.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, what do you say about a team that's done everything that they've done? They've played from behind. They've made the dramatic comebacks. They've blown out teams. I mean, and they've done all this, and, they're a team that were called soft, that were supposed to lose in the first round.
They definitely got rid of that very quickly. And I think even, during the regular season, you could definitely argue that they were soft. But when the playoffs came around, this is a different Mavs team. They had that extra gear that I really didn't think the Mavs had after watching them the last 6 years, and seeing what they do in the playoffs. They actually had that extra gear, and they really turned into kind of a different team. They're way more aggressive. They're driving to the basket. They're standing up for each other. They'll throw out some hard fouls out there if they need to. They're looking out for each other, and they're playing really good basketball. And
The only thing that worries
it's going to pay off if they keep it up.
The only thing that worries me, especially late in the games, maybe not like in the last couple of minutes where you know where they're going to go, which is Dirk, but like in the third quarter and the second quarter, what worries me is that it's obvious whenever the Mavericks go on the offensive that they have very little inside options.
Right.
It's either Dirk, which he's really not an inside option. He operates mainly from 16 to 18 feet out.
Yeah. They've already pretty much shut down JJ, so you can kind of rule that out.
JJ, he's going to give you a lot. He's going to give you a spark. He's off the bench. He's going to give you a lot. Well, he started the last game, but he's going to give you that energy. But he's not going to be a finisher. And what do you have, Sean Marion? I don't know.
Marion's, he's been doing very well.
Underrated, but he's not the dominant inside presence that you need to run the paint.
Right.
And what we're missing is Caron Butler. I mean, I'm not saying he's coming back. Yeah, we've done all this without
Yeah, he's
him,
not
but I'm
coming
saying
back,
that if we did have him, this thing would be a lot. We might have won at least one more game.
Maybe.
If we had a little bit more inside presence.
Or
that brings, not only is it a scoring thing, it's a defense thing. It's the
for
same reason why late in the game they're going to put Peja out there. It's not because they're looking to go to Peja. It's because Peja demands a defender. You have to put a guy on him. So whenever you're thinking about that double team on Dirk, you're going to have to leave Peja to do it. So fine, leave Peja. Dirk's just going to dish it to him. You'll have to take that chance. But other than that, it's Dirk one-on-one, and he's going to figure out what he needs to do, and he's going to do it.
Here's the main issue, though, is, whenever we do need, for us to put in, that guy we need, like we need Peja at the end, or we need, JJ or something like that, we're giving up something huge in that these guys are not good defenders also, and that's something that the Heat have. They'll play Wade and LeBron the whole game, basically. They'll be out there the entire fourth quarter, for sure. And these two guys, they're amazing offensive basketball players, but their defense is top-notch. I mean, these are two of the best defenders in basketball, and these guys can also take it to the rim, and I think that kind of gives them an advantage because we don't really have a lot of guys that are that strong on both ends of the court,
I don't know. I want to ask, what is defense?
Are you not familiar with that term? Or
That's like when you try to stop the other team from scoring.
yeah,
throw
typically
something at you. So
when Dwayne Wade jumps up,
good right
Good
now,
job,
Rich.
Sports Ryan.
when Dwayne Wade
Defense.
jumps up against a 7-footer and cleanly blocks the shot, that's defense.
That's defense. But I think the most of the times people get a lot of stuff mixed up, which is nothing about basketball. Basketball is a sport of praise and accolades and superlatives. But it changes from freaking game to game. He's the best. He's the worst. Changes from series to series. This guy's the best. We just said this other guy was the best. It's so reactive to what just happened. And they throw out all this commentary that's really just trash. Defense. They're good defense. What does that mean? All that means is that they close fast. That's it.
They block shots like crazy, though.
No more. Dude, it's not more than average. They might do one or more 2 block shots. It's not like it's me playing against my nephews. They're not swatting stuff out.
You have to admit, though, Peja's offense is fantastic and his defense is awful.
Well,
on
Peja's
defense,
is
people
limited to one
can run right around him. It's easy to get by him. It's easy to get a shot off against him.
No one's saying he's not a defensive liability.
What I'm saying is there is a difference, though, and you go up against LeBron James on the defensive end, and he's going to shut you down most of the time. He shut down Jason Terry almost the entire series.
The equivalent.
I mean, that's defense. It makes a difference.
So it's Peja or Mike Miller. Which one are you going to shut you down? Neither. But I'm saying is, the only thing that they say is good defense is that they close fast. How is that good defense? That's just hustle.
I'm not saying they're closing
I'm
fast. I'm saying they can
I
stay
say they
on
are.
you.
I think people get that mixed up with good defense. Now, they do play a lot of good defense at the rim. Like, another thing I've noticed is that whenever Tyson is going up for a rebound, what they do is they basically not at the Roxbury him. Everybody just gets around him, and they crowd him like in a triangle. So it makes it hard for him to go up and get the rebound, but there's only one guy up there, and that's Tyson usually, to get the offensive rebound. That's fine, but the Heat are also really good at getting those offensive rebounds, those loose balls.
Yes,
that's fine. But if you're gonna say they have great defense, will they get in your face even better? I don't know. It's just because we've been missing wide open shots. They're contested, but they're not like a hand on the ball like contested shots. They're contested in the fact that whenever the release is there's at least somebody close to be a presence to maybe try to distract a guy. Their defense is good. I'm not saying it's top notch. I mean, I think the Mavericks' hustle in the defense is just as much. The Mavericks just don't do enough on the boards to try to distract and block a shot. That's fine. Now, I don't know the numbers, but if we went back and look at it, the block shots probably Miami's winning, but not a lot. I'm just saying that people
I'm just saying player to player.
I'm just saying good defense is confused for hustle.
I understand that, but my point was they have players that are equally good on both ends of the court. More of those players than we have. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's fine. But more of our players are better at defense than the rest of their team,
or just better at offense. We're better at one thing than the other.
You basically let them all three score 20 points. They get 60. You know what? Everybody else has to step up, and that's a team that usually doesn't, man. They have so far. Their bench has. They've outplayed the Mavs bench.
Which is
But
silly.
I'm telling you, it's not going to happen all the time. The Mavs have been missing a lot of shots. That's what I'm saying, that these games are close, and they're close because of turnovers, and we're missing shots. Now, what do you want to say? It's their defense? That's great. But you know what? The Mavericks' defense has been really damn good, too.
Oh, yeah, man. This is the best they've been.
Especially in the fourth quarter.
Look at the
scores. If you're
scores.
say they have a good defense, I'm about to say it's almost an equal. It's just when do you have the defense? Do you have the better defense after you just ran and dunked on them?
I'm not
or do you
saying,
have better defense when it counts?
I'm not saying Miami has a better defense overall. I'm saying they have players that are as good at offense as they are at defense. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're outplaying us defensively.
I'm just bringing something up that bugs me.
Yeah, it makes a good point.
The word
and
defense, the good defense, the best defense. What does that mean? I think people get caught up with the superlatives of it, and they don't look at what actually it is. You know, they can play good defense all they want in the second and third quarters, dude. I'd rather have good defense in the fourth, which
that's
we have.
Really all that matters, honestly. Unless you can get some crazy lead that's not comebackable, but
especially in a team that they have not just one but two, and you can argue three closers, and
right.
You're going to let all this stuff happen. I'm not saying that's good defense, man. So I don't know. That's the one thing I kind of wanted to bitch about tonight is that they're overhype of defense. Now, they're good, and they're going to come out. They have to. LeBron has too much pride, has too much of his image at stake. He's too much of an institution to come out and not try to just flop it out on the table.
Although it kind of looked that way in the fourth quarter in the last game. He just kind of non-existent. He didn't want to shoot the ball. He wanted to give it up. He wasn't really, offensively the last couple of games, he's really struggled. And I'm okay with that because it works well for us, but you can't count on that because just like our bench, our bench has been sucking it up, but sooner or later they're going to turn into their true form like they have been all season, and they're going to step up and they're going to score some points. And LeBron's going to do the same thing. It might even happen at the same time, and it just kind of cancels each other out. But either way, that's why this series is so great. These teams are so similar, and they're so well matched. Going into this, all the talk was about how unmatched, Miami was. Like they were going to dominate us. We just couldn't man-to-man, overall. They have the better athletes. They have the stronger players. And
they hadn't faced an offensive team like the likes of the Mavericks.
Right.
And honestly, the Mavericks haven't scored less than 80, and they've been consistently getting in the 80s this entire series. Now, they've been going to the 110s, 100s, the 90s, easy. Mm-hmm. Well, not easy at the 110s, but the 100s is regular. 90s is given every night.
Right.
And it's the different the style of basketball, the way they play. And you know what? I just lost my train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Just happened. That just happens so hard. Crap.
Do we have a train wreck sound effect?
Something kind of like that, like a bomb noise. Yeah, that'll
Foghorn.
work.
All right. So,
Nicely done. Nicely done.
So I guess in closing, I just want to say that, at the beginning of this season, I thought to myself, after 2006 in Miami, 2007 in Golden State, 08 in New Orleans, 09 we beat the Spurs and we went on and played the Nuggets, the butt Nuggets. And then last year against the Spurs, another first round exit. Coming into this season, you say that there's probably going to be a lockout. So many things have to line up. Because there's no way with the history of this team that you're going to say that you're going to Vegas and putting money on the Mavericks.
Oh yeah,
that's not going to happen.
I had very low expectations going into this playoffs.
And then to have the Mavericks start off like they did, great, and then Dirk gets hurt, and 2 nights later, or like a couple of games later, Karan's out for the season, and you're just like, what is happening? And they go on the Mavs go on the biggest losing streak they've had since the Dirk era. They went like in a 9-game spot. They went like 7-2. It was awful. Or 2-7, excuse me. So, and then to put it together, and then you got Peja, and what's that going to mean? I don't know. Okay, but it's a step in the right direction. And then to go into the playoffs, you go in undermanned or unmatched to the Trailblazers, and you beat them even after Game 4, which I sat here and it was just stunned about how much that reminded me of Game 3 2006.
We thought it was happening.
And they beat them. They sweep the Lakers, and still I did not want to get excited. I was excited, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. I was happy. And then they go against Oklahoma City. The average age is 22. Our average age is 33, and they got the scoring leader. So what are you going to think? This is going to wear them out. This is going to be tough. But you know what? They did it, and they did it in 5 games. They were close games, but they did it in 5 games.
Yep.
And they had one of the biggest comebacks in NBA history in Game 4. Not one of. It's the biggest comeback in any NBA. In the last 15 years, there have been 5,300 games. Coming back 15 down 15 with 4:50 left hasn't happened at all.
Game
you
2.
know what the next closest comeback was?
Miami Heat Game 2.
Miami Heat Game 3, 2006.
No, I mean
they were down 13 with 6:34.
Weren't we down 15 with 6 minutes to go in Game 2 and came back and won that on like a 17-3 run or 20-3 run?
15 with 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, that was
that's not as impressive, but that being
that's a bigger game though.
It's a way bigger game. It's the finals. It's
you don't want to go 2-0 in the finals.
It's against LeBron, and it's on the road.
That was probably the biggest comeback for us.
That's the biggest win in Mavericks franchise history right there. Because if that happens, they lose that, then they're coming back here down 0-2. They got 1 game away from being in the hole that you can't crawl out of. And then to come back and beat Oklahoma City. And then now you have a chance. You've tied it up, and it's the best of 3. That's the bottom line. No matter what happens, the first 4 games, it's the best of 3. You need to win 2, and one of them's on your home floor.
We got to win this home game, or it's going to be real tough to beat them back-to-back for the first time in the playoffs this season, and also at home, where they've only been beaten once. I mean, the odds are just not on your side at that point.
Think about
it. You got to win this game.
If you win this game, you basically
got
are telling
yourself chance.
You have 2 games.
You got 2 chances to win.
On the road.
That's all you got to do. Win one of those 2.
Now, if you lose this game, you got to win both on the road. That is not favorable at all.
Never happened before, so we'll see. Do we have any trivia tonight? Are we kind of not doing that anymore?
It's probably out there somewhere. We'll catch it.
It's probably out there, but I'm not going to do it there, Johnny. So thanks for bringing that up, jerk.
Okay.
We'll edit that out.
Sorry.
Let's just put a big watermelon over Johnny's face while we're at it.
Tonight we're asking, what is the trivia question from You Can't Do That on Television? Go. Oh, that's all the time you've got.
All right. Well, I guess there's only a couple things we can do is sign off, and we're going to show you another video on our exit here. So, thank you for all watching and joining us. I'm not reading off the cue cards because I'm trying to memorize.
We're professionals, so we don't really.
I'm so pro right now.
Cue cards are for sucks.
Cue cards are for losers.
Why don't you guys join us again next week, because we are going back to our week-to-week thing. We had a couple of weird weeks there before this, but join us next week. We're going to be live again at 8 on the Lone Star Webcast Network at frontiertelevision.com.
And don't forget to subscribe to the free podcast and download the weekly thing every week.
That'd be our
Sounded good.
RSS feed.
Don't subscribe to the weekly thing and download it every month because that would make any sense.
Right.
Because it comes every week. Just
Listen,
do it every week.
if you want to download our show, you can find our RSS feed as long as our Facebook link. We have a page on Facebook and our Twitter feed.
Look at us. Look at us.
If you go to frontiertelevision.com/sports, you can find all that there.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Johnny,
What?
go Mavs.
Yeah, let's go, Mavs.
Let's go Mavs.
Let's go, Mavs.